At Oracle Arena, Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Matt Steinmetz with you. And the Warriors, you got to keep up with all the introductions and all the dance moves as they have fun with it. Our Southwest Airlines starting lineups. Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes gets the start, and that's for defensive aggressiveness with Chris Webber in the middle, Monte Ellis and Baron Davis. So Don Nelson looking at the fact that Gilbert Arenas is out, Antonio Daniels is out, and tweaking the lineup with Barnes getting the start, and maybe that's also to match the energy of Antoine Jamison.
I think with Barnes in the starting lineup, you're going to see them pressure the ball and get after it all over the court. He's a little better defensively.
Antoine Jamison, Andre Blatch, Brendan Haywood, Deshaun Stevenson, and Roger Mason. And the front line of the Wizards all had double-doubles for Eddie Jordan last night, losing a one-pointer at Phoenix. They lost 7 in a row, and it's primarily because Caron Butler has been injured, but they were at one point really rolling along. When you're sitting there at 24-19,
yes,
and in the playoff chase without Gilbert Arenas, that's a testament to how well the Wizards have played.
But in the East, you're probably going to see 2 teams under 500 make the playoffs. I talked to Eddie Jordan at length before the game, and he said Caron Butler is not going to be back until after the All-Star game. Antonio Daniels will be right back very, very soon, but Gilbert Arenas are going to hold back until he's healthy for sure.
Our Toyota Tundra keys to the game. What do you got for me, partner?
Well, when you look at this team, because they've got a converted point guard in Roger Mason, he's there out of necessity, pressure the point, and you do that, take them out of their offense, and then that's an important aspect of your defense, setting the tone. Eliminate second shots, great offensive rebounders in Jamison and Haywood, and that will kick in your transition game. If you eliminate those shots and clear the boards and drive the ball. I think if they drive the ball early, they just kind of set the tone, and then you're going to get wide open outside shots, and then it comes in a regular flow.
Well, that second shot point, they had 20 second chance points against the Suns. That negates your running game if you don't rebound, and I think it puts pressure on the Warrior guards to help out the front line in grabbing defensive rebounds tonight.
And the last time the Warriors played this team, back in mid-November, 18 offensive rebounds for Washington. That's too many.
And a turnover early. Roger Mason Jr., a very good perimeter shooter, as he demonstrates right there.
You've got to get up on him because he will burn you.
Warriors beat Washington 123-115 earlier this season. In the last 5 meetings, they've put up points aplenty between both squads. You get an up-tempo game more than likely. Webber on Jamison. Missing the step back. Barron coming up with a steal and a new possession. Steven Jackson with the bad ankle and dropping in the 3. Asked Jackson if he was going to play tonight after badly spraining that ankle. He said, one more Wednesday and then the All-Star break.
There's the pressure from the point. They broke it, but that was still a good play.
What a delivery for Blatch behind the back. And Andre Blatch is a high schooler. And it really has evolved for the Wizards this year.
Well, he's got skills. Now, he's playing the 4 spot, but he really plays like a 3. And Barron just took that to trouble.
See Blatch, he had one behind the back pass and tried to finish like a little man, and Monte draws the charge. Blatch is 6'11", 248. He's a 49th pick in 05 out of South Kent Prep High School in Connecticut.
Monte just with that quickness got underneath, and I thought Blatch did a pretty good job of not just running over him, but couldn't avoid him. He's so big, and he's still learning. He's young. That's a contested shot.
Monte Ellis, you got news when he misses. 11 of 12 and 12 of 15 in his last 2 ball games.
And averaging over 28 points a game in his last 8 home games.
Juan Jamison missing the 3, and Webber with the rebound. Warriors in their Hardwood Classic. Blue unis, the homage to the 74-75 title team. Baron Davis stepped out of bounds.
I like the play they were running there because you run a pick and roll up high, they switch, and so rather than Monte trying to drive it, he just changes the ball, goes in the corner, and that's the same side Webber's on. They have a mismatch if they get it into it. I'm surprised they didn't.
Barnes opens on Blatch. Webber's got Haywood, Jackson and Jamison, and Antoine right to the cup.
And if you let him go right, you'll be looking at his rear end all night long.
Antoine averaging a double-double, 21 and 10. Jackson alone for 3, and Steven Jackson's hit a couple triples already to provide the Warriors 6 points.
He's the best flat-footed shooter in the league, isn't he? So he can have a sprained ankle and still launch that.
Against Washington in the first meeting, the Warriors' 16 made threes is their season high. And Haywood, we talked about how he has had a breakout season offensively. Brendan Haywood shooting 53% from the field.
Never averaged double figures. He's averaging 10 points a game in only 27 minutes, by the way. That's a bad pass, a little low.
And Barnes, look what I found, and he puts it up and in.
Barnes is a very different game than Al Harrington. And defensively, he's going to be more proactive. And I think that's why he was inserted tonight.
Tough cover for Matt with Bloch. Cannot leave Mason on the perimeter. Bloch, well played by Barnes. Monte in on Deshaun Stevenson. Spins around, hangs, and tried to pass. A good defense by Jamison, and 4 turnovers quickly by the Warriors. Deshaun Stevenson, 219 consecutive games. Got a little Iron Man streak going. And Barnes came over, got the block, but also the foul, and Haywood to the line.
Going to call it on Weber instead of Barnes.
We'll talk about Brendan Haywood. How about 74% free throwing? He was a career 59% free thrower. And that is a huge leap forward from the line this year. Obviously, Haywood did a lot of shooting in the offseason because the mid-range jumper, the foul shot. You don't normally see someone this late in their career, Jim, take that huge step forward.
Unless they take a concerted effort, make a concerted effort in the offseason to improve, and that's what it takes. And get past that little mental phobia that you have.
Brendan Haywood was 6 of Washington's 10. It's an excellent effort by the Wizards last night and losing by 1 to Phoenix.
Nice look.
Jackson was so open, he shot it over the rim and backboard with the layup. Roger Mason missing. Antoine the offensive rebound.
Mason loves the 3.
And he drops one in. Roger Mason Jr. is a 36% three-point shooter. He's only missed 1 free throw all year.
60% of his shots come from three-point range.
Jackson finally got Bloch up in the air, and he was fouled. We have talked far too often about the Warriors' first quarter struggles defensively. 17 times this year, the Warriors have been down by 10 in the first quarter. 6 and 11 in those games. And the Wizards open shooting 63% as Dominic McGuire checks in. Second round pick in last year's draft. The Bulldog out of Fresno State. Matt Barnes rattling out the 3. Double in the corner, kick it out to Stevenson, and Baron fouled him shooting a 3. Now, Baron Davis fouled out of the Sacramento game. Picked up his 5th foul midway through the 3rd quarter, and they were not what you would call, or what Don Nelson would call, good fouls. And some of them just kind of careless and un-Baron-like.
Well, that would be a careless foul, right? You do not want to bail out a jump shooter from three-point range. Now, he's at 37%, is Stevenson. He's made more than anybody on the team this year. That's because Gilbert Arenas has only played in 8 games. But he has improved in that area, but still, he's a streak shooter. He's not a downright dead-eye shooter night in, night out.
The Wizards are an 80% free-throwing team, and he gets one more as he was fouled shooting a 3.
3rd best in the league are the Wizards.
What's amazing is you think of Caron Butler's a 91% free thrower. Roger Mason's 27 of 28, 96%. Singaila's a 93% free throw shooter. They don't only have 3 guys in their team shooting 90 from the line, and Barnes rebounding the 3rd miss. Try to get it to Weber. You see the good hands, and Weber laying it in. Chris Weber has the best big man hands among the elites in league history. And he's got mitts that have just been spectacular throughout his career.
You think a big man who had great hands?
Jackson, beautiful overplay and denial. Barron the baseball pass, but and Mason back deep.
I think of Moses Malone. The guy had big mitts and great hands.
And he can't teach it. You either have good hands or you don't. Haywood. A nice feed from Roger Mason, who's looking more and more like a point guard. Warriors have been sloppy early with 5 turnovers, and Washington has made them pay.
Washington's a hungry team. That shot is off. That's a clang.
Talked about Barron shooting 29% in his last 3 ball games, and I'm sure he didn't want to open with a 3.
And they're going to go right to Jamison. He's going to get it up before a double team comes.
Antoine Jamison, other than Walter Berry at the collegiate level, who's ever had a better little baby hook than Antoine?
Gets it off so quickly.
Ever down the lane and almost knocked away, no contact. Stevenson pushing.
Washington's confidence is good right now.
Mason hits another 3, and Don Nelson sees his team give up a 14-2 run, and now the 18th time the Warriors have been down double digits in a first quarter. Not a stat that they want to see continue on, but it is here, and the Warriors see the Wizards shoot 73%, open 8 of 11, and down 12 midway through the first. At Oracle, not a beautiful beginning, with Washington opening 8 of 11 from the field and leading by a dozen. The Club 200 4-packs on the way to get to Oracle. Bunch of different flavors. How about the Celtics only visit? The Lakers with Pau Gasol and Shaq, and the Suns. 4 games, $132. Operators ready to help you right now, and Al Harrington did to help the Warriors. Harrington, Jackson, Ellis, Andres Biedrich, and Barron. Warriors with 6 early turnovers. That's a little uncharacteristic.
I said before the game, the Warriors have an advantage at the backcourt spot. Well, the Warriors backcourt, Barron and Monte Ellis have yet to score. Roger Mason and Stevenson have combined for 10 points already.
Biedrich just inserted his extra effort, got the ball off of Washington. So a new 24 and an extra possession.
Long 2.
Harrington has missed 2 shots right off the bat.
Isn't it amazing, though, when you look at tendencies, and this is why it's so unpredictable in sports, and particularly at the professional level. You think the Warriors would have an advantage. The way Ellis has been playing at home, and Barron, you think, is going to snap out of it after 3 tough shooting nights. How about this?
Well, Barron has committed 2 fouls, and both are fouling 3-point shooters. And
this one was made.
Antoine Jamison, an opportunity for a 4-point play.
You want to challenge shooters, but you don't want to get near. They're so near that you give the official an opportunity to blow a whistle. Let him make a decision like that. That's a 4-point play. Now the Warriors are down 16 early on.
18-2 run by the Wizards, and we've talked about their ability to put up a ton of points. They average 98 per game, but against the Warriors, getting to 110, 115 has not been a problem. Jackson in traffic, and he was fouled.
Did a great job with a pump fake to get McGuire up in the air. The rookie is very foul prone. Doesn't try to shoot too much. He's a good defender. That's why he was on Jackson.
Steven Jackson, 6 of the Warriors' 10. And we talked about as Baron Davis has struggled shooting the ball. Jackson has really started to heat up as of late. Darius Songaila out of Wake Forest checking in. He's coached there by Russ Turner, Warrior assistant coach.
Good call.
And Russ and his wife, Dr. Liz Turner, just had a baby boy that they named Darius. Not necessarily after Darius Songaila, but they always liked the first name.
I was going to say it had some influence on it. Maybe it was after Darius Miles.
Or Darius Rucker of Hootie the Blowfish. Dwyer feeding inside, and Antoine Jamison contorting it up and in.
He's one of the most unorthodox scorers in the history of the league. He can just find ways to shoot, maybe below his waist, above the rim. One hand, left hand, right hand, anything.
Jamison already has 10 here in the first quarter.
So they're really packing it in. That's why you're going to get shots like this, but you've got to be able to make them.
You try to keep it alive, but Monte's 0 for 2, Barron's 0 for 1, and the Warriors are 4 for 12.
Mason and Stevenson each had 18 at Phoenix last night.
The overplay, Biedrich, what a play and save. And Antoine Jamison on the re-steal behind his back, and Jamison up and out. crashing the glass, and Don Nelson will use another timeout as Mason has 10 in the first quarter. Nervous time at Oracle as the Warriors' first quarter woes have mushroomed again.
Well, is Nelly going to lay into the starters, or is he going to look for bench players? It's a little early to panic, but when you're down 30-12 in the first 7 minutes and 50 seconds of the game, that's a lot to make up.
After the All-Star break, the Warriors will go to Utah, their one road game in this stretch before March 4th. And that'll be next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Darren Williams and the Jazz, the team that eliminated the Warriors in the postseason.
Well, the Jazz have the best home record in the league.
They had won 10 in a row overall, and they're 22-3 at Energy Solutions.
Even Boston at 17-5. And when you think about a home record,
And Boston 22-4.
22 and 17-5 roads.
Yeah, Utah 22-3.
Speaking of that, you look at this club and finally, nope, it's in and out.
So Monte Ellis, who's been the hottest Warrior for the past month, has actually opened 0 for 3.
Washington is 16-15 at home. You know, they're 24-26 overall, 8-11 against the Western Conference.
Nick Young, the USC, missing his first shot. Sagala kept it alive, but the ricochet out to Harrington. Warriors on the back end of a 22-4 run by Washington, just trying to find some way to put the ball in the basket. And Harrington, in retrieving that ball, will be called for a foul.
When things don't go your way, they really don't go your way, because this is not a foul on either player. This is just going for a loose ball. He bounces it off his elbow, and they just kind of collide. Harrington had the angle on the ball, and you got to reach out to try to get it. There's going to be contact at this level. These are big men.
Young went for 18 against the Warriors, and he just fell down and lost the ball.
And hit his head. He got his bell rung by the wood.
16th pick out of USC in the first round. Barron will draw the foul, put it up and out, but at least get himself to the line.
Nothing is going in. Trying to drive. Well, it was the knee. Yes, he gets the knee. That's what did it. Not the floor. I knew he immediately went to the head and try to regroup.
Baron Davis has got to feel like the rim looks like a thimble. Three-point shooting, the field goal shooting. Dropping in the free throw there. Mason with the shot clock at 10. It picked up the dribble. Sangalo looking for a cutter, in and out of the hands of McGuire. And he'll turn and fire it in over Biedrins. It's been that kind of first quarter for Washington.
Isn't it amazing what momentum does? I said before, this is a hungry team, having lost 7 in a row.
Harrington has yet to hit a shot. 0 for 3. And the Wizards are going to take a timeout. This probably benefits the Warriors just as much. 2:33 in a very difficult first quarter for the Warriors. Watching the Wizards shoot 67% from the field. Well, the Warriors have had too many first quarters where they fall behind big, and tonight no exception. And at the baseline, Matt Steinmetz, Baron Davis off to a very rough beginning.
Yeah, Bob, you know, he picks up 2 fouls early, and that really sets a tone. We've seen this a few times this year where Baron gets a couple cheapies early. Now, what does this do? First of all, Baron can play in foul trouble. That's not the issue. Don Nelson kept him on the court with 5 fouls the other night. But clearly, it makes him less aggressive. He can't be a ball hawk. He can't pressure the ball when he's in foul trouble. And what also happens is, you saw it on the next play, he's guarding Nick Young. They're going to go to Nick Young to try to pick up the 3rd foul. And now you got Baron Davis, the team's best defender, and he can't be as aggressive as he'd like for the rest of the game.
Antoine Jamison missing the jumper, Baron with the rebound.
Or until he stays out of foul trouble longer into the game.
It also helps Washington, just makes the game easier for them, getting to the line, picking up cheap points, and you feel like you're invincible. This ball's thrown away.
The turnovers have been beyond shocking here. 9 Warrior turnovers in 10 minutes.
They're in a funk in the first quarter, and they're trying to manufacture their way out of it.
Young, little two-man game with Songaila. Jameson's already hit 1 3 and missing there. So the Warriors seeing the Wizards cool off just a little. A huge deficit to overcome. Barron driving, Harrington moving nicely.
That was a long time in coming for that field goal.
On those 17-point plays in the NBA. Possession by possession.
Well, you'd rather be down by 17 in the first quarter than down by 17 in the fourth, that's for sure.
That's absolutely the case. Jameson shot clock at 2, a little runner. And Biedrins will start the break to Monte.
Well, they needed to get Biedrins in there just to help on the boards.
And Ellis floating the finger roll up and in.
See, Biedrins can negate the big people up front from Washington and start igniting that break for Monte. Stevenson's powerful, a little stronger.
He just took it to traffic and got the foul.
Monte has a quickness advantage on Stevenson, but Stevenson's much stronger. Biedrins dribbles that ball out, just ignites a little bit of early offense. So Monte attacks before the defensive people get set. Some people have their backs to him. Sometimes you run the man who's defending you right into his own teammate. He's good at doing that.
Sean Stevenson, originally a member of the Utah Jazz, 23rd pick out of Washington Union High School in Fresno back in 2000.
Out in the valley.
3 years with Utah, 3 years with Orlando. And as I was talking about, 05, 06, 82 games. Washington last year, all 82. And this year, every game. He's got a nice little durability streak going. And knocking down a couple free throws.
8th year in the league. It's hard to believe that. But if you don't figure out how to play after 6, 7 years, and he finally has a little bit. He used to be very erratic.
He went to Washington Union, but he's got the beard like Lincoln. Monte, beautiful baseline swoop and scoop.
Everybody thought he was going to reverse. Instead, he pops up on the near side of the basket with both hands.
Final 37 seconds of the first quarter dominated by Washington, but Ellis has had a little spring in his step. Roger Mason can flat out shoot the ball. 13 in the first quarter for Mason on 5 of 6, and the Wizards 4 of 6 on threes. Harrington will fire and drop that in. A triple in response. Shot clock off, and the Wizards will play for 1, but they've done the damage. A 37-point first quarter.
Aaron's got to be careful about reaching, picking up a cheap foul here.
Down to 8. And Barron with a steal. Down to 3. At 2. At 1. Harrington
should not have dribbled. He had to look up and see the clock, which he did not do.
And Al knows it. The Warriors see the Wizards shoot 59%. They rack up 37, and it's a 15-point deficit after the first 12 minutes. And the Warriors have dug themselves the familiar hole at home. We have advanced to the second quarter. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Matt Steinmetz with you at Oracle Arena.
The Warriors were giving up 37 points to the Wizards. It's not the Wizards' season high for the first quarter. They did get 41 day after Christmas against Charlotte, but 37 is an enormous number.
Songaila rattling that out. Petrus and Baron Davis with Monte Ellis, Al Harrington, Andres Biedrins to begin the second. Nick Young and Darius Songaila, Roger Mason, Andre Bloch, and Deshaun Stevenson for Washington. And the ball knocked out of bounds, remain Warrior basketball.
At 59% shooting in that first quarter.
Wizards built a 19-point lead, and an all too familiar uphill trek for the Warriors. Barron passed up a 3 there. Good thing he did. The beautiful delivery to Biedrins, the field goal, the foul, and an opportunity for a 3-point play.
But how about the timing on that? Because Andres Biedrins stayed out of the lane to give Barron a lot of room. to drive if he wanted. And then he saw that he was not going to be able to drive because Sangalia came over from the weak side. That's when he made his cut. And when Singala went out to defend Barron and double team, that left it open along the left side of the lane.
Biedrins missing the free throw. Talk about the Warriors trying to pressure the guards. Nick Young is not a point guard. Neither is Deshaun Stevenson. Roger Mason having to fill in with Antonio Daniels and Arenas both out. Reach and foul by Biedrins as Singala began the drive.
Well, you take a look, Bob, at the end of the quarter, and let's watch the clock up here. That ball is being passed with 1.3 seconds to go, and Harrington could have launched, should have launched. Nobody should have put it on the floor.
Monte with a steal. Monte in a foot race, and he draws the foul. And the quickness of Monte Ellis fully on display on the out-of-bounds play. At halftime, we're going to talk about the fastest players in the NBA, and Monte is more than in the conversation. He's been white hot. And yet, the way the Warriors are playing early on, it's just scary. It'll be the turnovers or the free throwing. And Ellis misses them both.
Well, they played great at New Orleans January 30th. Then they had that blowout against Charlotte. And then the time off seemed to kind of lull them into a little lethargy.
Nearly thrown away by Haywood. We've seen the Wizards continue to launch as Mason misses there. Harrington will shoot that. And there's Monte on the offensive rebound. Well, Monte Ellis, he and Jackson, the two lone bright spots offensively. And from down 19, the Warriors have clawed to within 11.
And Monte Ellis, for his size, may be the best rebounding guard in the league for his size.
Stevenson to work on Barron, and the screen roll. Stevenson gets Al on the switch and puts the jumper right in his face. Deshaun Stevenson hits the three. Harrington in on the shot blocker. Nice reverse and move with the left hand. Drop step in the layup.
He's got a live body tonight. Nice to see him finish inside. That's the second one he's finished inside. And that will only propel him to work on the perimeter.
So Al's got 7 off the bench.
The Warriors have to start defending on the perimeter with Mason and Stevenson. And they're not doing it. Pick and roll there. Nobody came over to help.
Roger Mason with 15. Petrus out of the corner, and he drops in the three.
That's what Nelson wants him to do. Catch and shoot the ball. And quit thinking about other things. They're only down 11, and no big deal here.
Stevenson and Mason have been heating up, and Deshaun Stevenson with 10, Mason with 15, Jamison with 10.
This is what players who come off the bench that are relegated to starting, and I say relegated because they relish that moment. Starting, of course, Stevenson's been starting. He's going to get a little selfish here. But you get an opportunity and you take advantage of it. That's what Mason has done. And Stevenson's getting more shots because of Gilbert Arenas being absent.
The Wizards shooting 57%. They're 6 of 10 on threes. And they have the 14-point lead. Monte Ellis, the leaping ability and the ability to offensive rebound. Getting out to the game with your dad, always a lot of fun, but not having so much fun at Oracle with the Wizards leading by 14. And Matt Steinmetz, the defensive game plan has gone astray.
Yeah, I want to talk about something and follow up on what you guys said. The plan tonight of starting Matt Barnes was to help out in the backcourt, pressuring the Washington Wizards guards, because if you look at their roster, they don't have a point guard on the roster right now. Gilbert Arenas is hurt. Antonio Daniels is hurt. So the plan was to start Barnes and have him linger in the backcourt after the Warriors scored to pressure their so-called point guards in Roger Mason and Stevenson, but that's kind of gone by the wayside because the Warriors haven't scored much early in the game.
Yeah, it's hard to pressure the ball after a score if you're not getting field goals.
Exactly.
And then, like you say, when Barron picked up the 2 fouls, he's going to be a little more tentative.
Monte, that deflected by Jamison. Petrus dropping it back to Ellis down the lane, putting it up, and an offensive foul.
And to amplify what was said by Matt Steinmetz in the first 6 minutes of the game, Warriors only had 4 field goals. Yeah, that's a tough call right there. A little man going into the big. He's outside the restricted area. And sometimes those calls just go unblown.
That's a great catch by Jamison. A better block by Biedrins.
And he got pushed. That's a good call by Jack Neese. Harrington with those arms again. And this was a distinct push in the small of the back. Fighting for the rebounds underneath. Biedrins pushed a little bit off of the play. They didn't see that. Jamison came back with it. You're missing the foul there, but Harrington pushed him with the right hand just in the small of the back.
We talked about Bloch and Haywood and Jamison all double-digit in rebounds against Phoenix. And so the second chance points, 20 last night. They're not needing a lot of second chances tonight because the Wizards are shooting 55%.
And when the Warriors, by the way, Bob, turned the ball over 9 times in the first quarter, that's one of the reasons that they allowed that many points, because Washington had 13 points off turnovers in the first quarter alone.
Petrus losing the handle. And that's turnover number 11 for the Warriors.
That's almost like running downhill when you start and you can't stop and you're running too fast for your own good. You can't run as fast as your leg, and legs will go and the hill takes care of you. That's what happened with Petrus on that last drive. Remember as a kid when you did that, Bob? And you fall flat.
I think the Warriors feel like a bunch of kids that have fallen off their bike, because they better get on and start pedaling quickly, because everything about the feel of this game is all Washington.
I thought when the Warriors closed to 11 a minute ago, and there's still a lot of time, obviously, but they've got to right the ship.
Wizards 11 of 12 from the foul line, 6 of 10 on threes, 55% from the field, forcing 11 Warrior turnovers. Barron a lot of work as they cycle the ball around. And the 3 rattled home.
Well, Harrington knows what to do with it.
Inside out. Barron driving inside and cycling around the perimeter.
Al caught and shot just like he should have at the end of the first quarter on that one.
But Al now 4 of 8 shooting, has 10 off the bench.
He's got one of the quickest releases in the league. That's a nice little pass inside.
And that pick and roll was Stevenson and then Haywood finishing.
Well, maybe they're getting more passes without a traditional point guard in the lineup for Washington. Maybe they're getting more passes inside, and that's why the front people are scoring more.
They have 11 assists on their 17 made field goals. Harrington wheeling and trying to finish on the other side. And now Mason pushing.
He's not a driver. He likes to create a little space to get a shot.
The Warriors run it back on the Wizards. Baron Davis still yet to make a field goal, and right on cue, he drops in. And that has got to feel really good for the Warrior captain.
It's a baby step.
Stevenson is going to try to call timeout. He had 2 of his teammates go to the bench, and he was in the front court by himself.
Remember, the coach can call it
Yeah,
out. I don't know why they're ignoring Eddie Jordan in the backcourt.
So from down 19, the Warriors within 14, and Baron Davis finally dropping in a field goal. Antoine Jamison with 5 steals already, 12 points, 4 rebounds. And the former Warrior is thriving in this back and forth game. Getting help from Stevenson and Mason.
Well, Antoine is just one of the most versatile players in the league because he can do so many things for you. He's got terrific hands and a sense around the basket. He doesn't even have to see where the rim is. He can tell by where his feet are planted in the lane. He just knows his way around that territory and just has a prolific ability to score.
Well, there was a lot of debate early in his career, Antoine Jamison or Vince Carter. And you wait for 10 years to unfold. And I'd rather have Antawn Jamison.
Jamison emerges. The steadiness every year. This gives you the same. You can depend on him. Great family. Always was a nice young man.
Shot clock down to 3. Stevenson's got to launch. And
where did this come from Stevenson and Mason? I know they're improving on that, but you know, Stevenson did shoot 40% from three-point range last year, albeit not as many attempted.
Well, he's got 13 points on 4 shot attempts. Mason's got 15 points on 9 shot attempts. Monte sent away by Haywood.
And they've made 6 threes between them.
7 of 11 three-point shooting for the Wizards. Antoine has Barron on that mismatch. And Barron fouls him again, and he puts it up and in. But Baron Davis has picked up 3 fouls, fouling Jamison twice. Every facet of the game for the Warriors, whether it be turnovers, defense, putting the Wizards on the foul line.
And there's a little touch on the arm. And it is a foul. And Jamison didn't force the issue there. He didn't try to go all the way to the basket because he knows Barron's strong, and he said, okay, I've got a little jump shot. I've got a height advantage, and there's the free throw disparity.
Other than Bloch, the other 4 starters for the Wizards are all in double figures. And the league grows to its largest right now at 20.
That is a block. That is a block.
And Eli Rowe, the young official, calls it correctly. Monte puts it in. And this is just a dangerous play as Monte took a heavy fall there. Holding on to the right knee, which is disastrous for the Warriors.
You don't even want to think about that. Did he hyperextend it a little bit when he landed?
Why at 6'11" wouldn't Bloch go up and try to block the shot?
Because it's the thing to do nowadays. I saw Tim Duncan in Boston last night try to take a charge just on the edge of the lane. Okay, Tim Duncan stood there, and the man, it was Tony Allen, went up and right around him for an easy layup.
This is why the point of emphasis this year on the block charge call was for there to be more blocks and more no calls. And what is fearful is that you're going to have a great player sustain a major injury because players keep jumping underneath drivers that have elevated. It's a dangerous play.
And then the player like Monte tries to avoid a charge, so they're going to land awkwardly because they're committed one direction. Now all of a sudden have to change their body and make it vulnerable, and landing that way.
Free throw miss. The Warriors are 3 of 8 from the foul line. Haywood rebounding the Stevenson miss, and now Haywood and Petrus. Haywood did not react well to that foul.
Well, the whistle was blown, and if he'd have stopped playing when the whistle was blown, there wouldn't have been a secondary foul there. Well, a secondary contact. There was no foul after the whistle blew.
Brendan Haywood and Eton Thomas and their practice scraps have been well documented.
All right, there's the foul. Okay, so it's over. Now it's over. And that was all after the whistle. Haywood's averaging 3.5 offensive rebounds a game, which puts him in one of the elite people in the league. That's Elton Brand Company, if he were playing.
Brendan Haywood was the 20th pick by Cleveland. Never played for them. Traded on draft day. All the years with Washington. 28 years of age and really evolving. I say bigger players take longer to develop, but the career year for Brendan Haywood. 4 of 4 from the field, 6 of 6 from the line, and the Wizards maintaining the 20-point lead, and Baron Davis is fouled. 14 fouls on Washington. And this is as quiet as Oracle has been all year long. And the crowd completely out of the game. The Warrior body language similar. Aaron inside and was fouled on the drive, and free throws coming. But with the Wizards shooting 14 of 15, it makes the Warriors 3 of 8 even more glaring. Comcast On Demand, half hour after the ball game. If you missed any part of the Warrior game, want to rewatch it, I would encourage starting after halftime tonight. I don't think you want to see that first quarter again. It's a free service, courtesy of Comcast. And Barron knocking down a couple free throws. So 5 minutes to regain some type of momentum and trim this deficit going into halftime and get the crowd involved. That's on the Warriors' to-do list. Haywood, a running hook.
Now, how do you stop that? And Andres was there. He didn't get all the way to the rim, but that just was a nice finish.
And to Viadrich, and knocked out of bounds. And Viadrich touched it last.
Well, he held on to the ball. And you can't fault him for that. Had he taken both hands away, they would have knocked it out of bounds. But he thought he was going to be able to convert inside by staying with the play, and the Warriors just aren't having much luck in a lot of areas. Ticky-tack fouls on three-point shooters. And three-point shots being made. And now you got Roger Mason, who is absolutely hot from the outside. He's got 4 already tonight.
Petras kicking it out to Harrington. He takes iron on the 3. Mason has 18 first-half points. Haywood has 16. Jamison 15. Stevenson 13. And the Wizards, they have a chance at an 80-point half, depending on how they shoot, in the final 3:52 as Viadrich blocks that out of bounds. They're 64 with 3:52 left. Racked up 37 in the first quarter and could easily be on pace to double that at 74.
Well, when you think about the Chicago game and he got down early, who was doing the bulk of the scoring?
Chris Duhon.
Backcourt. Ended up 15 points in the first quarter. Got a career high 34. Stevenson's career high is 29.
Aaron Davis will get his first rest. Jamison missing there. String together a bunch of stops to execute offensively. And Jackson missing the 3. Harrington the offensive rebound and then dunks it down. So Al Harrington off the bench with 12 points, the only Warrior in double figures.
And that's why Don Nelson wants him as a 6th man. Unfortunately for Chris Webber, the team just isn't playing well since he's made his return to the NBA.
Haywood is just dominating inside.
You've got to front him and play ball side because they can do that all night long. He's too long. In fact, they're going to bring Webber back in. I wouldn't be surprised if you see another North Carolina product to counteract Haywood. That's where he went to school. And I'm talking about Brandon Wright, the rookie, who can match his length.
Harrington's had the hot hand, and Al is carrying the Warriors right now. He's got 15, another 3 dropped in, but it only cuts it to 20. Wizards have had it as high as 23. By 15 at the end of 1, and just adding to the lead this quarter. Jamison missing. Petras with the rebound. One thing you're going to have is plenty of possessions tonight. They trying to turn the corner. Missing there. Harrington another 3. Off to the left.
I thought Andres was too giving there. He could have put that ball right back up.
Stevenson knocked away. Push ahead to Petras. Catching and finishing.
Turnover. Ignites your break.
Down 15 at the end of 1. They would take a 15-point deficit at halftime.
That really wasn't a break, just a leak out. Oh, reaching in. Jamison really knows how to draw fouls.
Antoine to the line. Minute 54 left in the first half. Free throws 16 and 17 coming for the Wizards as they have had an offensive barrage tonight. Well, Monte Ellis talked about being knocked down in training camp, laying motionless and losing all feeling, and how it really affected him mentally at the beginning of the season. Well, He is certainly over that.
Yeah.
Because he gets spilled on a regular basis.
By tough guys. Artest, Jamal Tinsley, and then Blotch there, who just tried to take a charge. And when you land that awkwardly, you have to know how to do it, and he certainly does.
Monte having a February like few others. 8 points tonight. Scoring average up to nearly 27 a game in the early part of this month. But it's not just the scoring for the Warriors tonight. They averaged nearly 110. So the Warriors are going to get near the 50s to be at their average. The difference is the Wizards are on a pace to score 140. Weber back in as Jamison hits the free throw. Playoff priority list, the only way to guarantee a playoff seat. Your deposit on season tickets for next year. 888-GSW-HOOP with operators standing by. But this Western Conference playoff chase is not going to be done likely to the final week of the season. Warriors are 10 games over 500 and still clinging to the 8th and final playoff spot. Jackson in traffic somehow made the adjustment and made the shot off the glass.
Well, one thing about it, Bob, if you can get some defense going, or if Washington gets cold, you know you can come back. Because last year, Washington allowed 110 points 19 times, one of the most in the league. And this year, they've already allowed over 110 points 9 times. And the Warriors average just under 110. So you can score points against them.
But these are the fouls you cannot commit when you're already over the limit.
Well, you shouldn't commit them. And that certainly is true. It's you got to play very smart to try to play catch up in a game like this, and your margin of error is very slim.
Stanford, Arizona State. That'll be Thursday on FSN Plus. Cardinal, number 7 in the country, with the Lopez twins.
They're big, very big.
Just amazing, the starting scoring for the Wizards. And Stevenson missed the second free throw. 18 for Haywood, 18 for Mason, 17 for Jamison, 14 for Stevenson. Only have 2 points off the bench. There's that prayer from Songaila. Jackson.
He finally gets the double figures.
Steven Jack 4 of 6. Harrington 6 of 13. They have carried the mail for the Warriors, but defensively down 15 at the end of one, but down by as many as 23 in the ball game. Stevenson was begging for a foul there and didn't get it. And he should get a technical, and now Benny Adams will give him one. He turned and uttered more than a few words that you don't say to an official. Jackson to shoot the tee. He rims that in.
I don't know, was he hit before? Maybe a little contact. He wasn't in the act of shooting, he just fell back. I don't know.
So a chance to go 2 for 1 to end the half. Down 16 right now. Score twice, get one stop, and you're back in business.
I do know this. As Jackson goes in, little pump fake, he's got a good look.
Steven Jackson drops in the jumper.
This is 8 more points than Washington has scored in any first half this season. They've got 69.
This is one big sequence here. If you could come up with a stop from down 23, you're at 14, and then play for the last shot.
Wide open. I mean, he just zeroed in. You're going behind that screen, you're dead in the water. And maybe a little moving screen there, but he's going behind it.
Mason's career high is 24, and he has 21 in the half. Shot clock off. Monte will handle. Stevenson to defend. Ellis down the lane, squeeze between defenders, and that will do it. So the biggest half of the year for the Wizards, and the Warriors down 17 at home as we hit the break. And a comeback is in order as the Warriors are down 17 points at halftime. And it's time actually for Ask Bob and Jim, but we've altered it to Ask Bob and Matt here. And Tim from San Anselmo wanted to know, who's the fastest player in the NBA? And I got a few, but who jumps out at you?
Well, Monte Ellis clearly is one of the guys who jumps out at me. But before we go into who, I think we need to make a distinction between speed and quickness. Speed is end-to-end, quickness is short, and we got guys who do both. Iverson, this is from a little while ago. He's both fast and quick. Can beat a guy up the court. Now, Tony Parker, he to me is more quick than fast. Not a blazer from one end to the other, but the ability to get from the top of the key to the paint, better than anyone. Barbosa, he's the same way. His three-point shot sets up that first step. And now here we get to Monte. Now, I think the reason Monte is so quick and so fast, better than most players, is he's got the total package. End-to-end, he's fast, Bob, and he's also got one of the best first steps going.
Now,
you talk about this guy.
LeBron James was a terrific football player. I can't even fathom him as a tight end, but you think of being quick and fast are both benefits, but the explosion to elevate at the rim, I think LeBron and Monte Ellis is probably in a class by themselves. The other little guys don't elevate like those two.
No, they don't elevate. Monte's certainly a great finisher. I'd obviously put Parker as a great finisher. Iverson was a great finisher, but LeBron's the best. Who, Iverson?
Yeah.
Iverson's taken a step back in terms of a finisher.
Wow, wait till AI sees
Still all right.
All right. Halftime at Oracle Arena. Jim will rejoin me. A lot of Washington first half highlights are straight ahead. Well, the Warriors with lots of work to do, trailing by 17. But our Ford Focus featuring Washington shooting a stellar 55% in the first half. The pick and roll, and Brendan Haywood went crazy.
Well, Brendan Haywood is rolling boxcars. He is 6 for 6 from the field, 6 for 6 from the free throw line. He's got 18. And how about the three-point shooting? Stevenson, 14 points, 3 of 4 for three-point range. And this man, Roger Mason, he's 3 off of his career high. He's got 21 points on 5 of 6 from three-point range, and they're just going behind the screens.
Steven Jackson and Al Harrington, the two Warriors of double figures, but it's not the scoring that the Warriors have had. It is the lack of defense, isolating shooters, or stopping Washington. 72 points and a half. They've dug themselves a huge hole.
That's the most the Warriors have allowed this year. That's the most that Washington has scored this year, and you're not going to get back into it offensively. You've got to play defense at some time or other.
Half of basketball left. Third quarter is on the way. To start the second half, Wizards with 9 made threes in the first half, shot it at 55%. And a Mercedes-Benz game summary. Only 2 points off the bench for Washington, but their starters were simply phenomenal.
Well, when you talk about 4 starters in double figures, the least of which Jamison has 17. That's the least points scored by those 4 starters.
So Blotch with Haywood, Stevenson, Jamison, and Roger Mason with a 21-point first half. Haywood misses there, and Matt Barnes with the rebound.
Haywood's first miss of the night.
From the field or the line.
6 of 6 from both.
Aaron Davis, Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes with Chris Webber and Monte Ellis.
Can Aaron get some kind of rhythm, get a little flow?
And that's a great beginning. Aaron with only 6 points in the first half. Only 1 made field goal.
Right. It's only his second made of the night. And Roger Mason has made 8 field goals. In contrast.
Contact blotch at Matt Barnes, and Barnes will pick up the foul. But after being down 23, with the Warriors' firepower, 15 is really nothing. And the difference will be, can they play defense and turn the faucet off for Washington scoring? Stevenson, well played by Barron there, and Webber a good box out. Webber handling. Jackson runs to the three-point line. Both teams have been shooting very well from 3. Warriors 7 of 14. The Wizards 9 of 14 from beyond the arc. With the work on Webber, Barron came to double. Stevenson, it's a brick of a three. Weber will track it down. Jackson thought about teeing it up. In traffic and a running right-handed hook. That was a little 1-on-4, and Steven Jackson made it work. And you look up, and 10 points off the 23-point deficit are gone.
And I think he went off his good ankle, which would be, usually you're going to shoot a shot like that, you go off your left foot, you're right-handed. I think he went off his right.
Warriors would desperately like to get the crowd involved here. Aching in the first half. Barnes with a steal. Throw ahead to Barron. Barron runs to the three-point line and puts the triple in, and here they come.
Can they sustain it?
From down 23 to within 10.
You got to play some D. You can't rely on your shooting every time.
Oracle Arena trying to be the sixth man. Jamison wheeling, putting it in. And the first bucket of the second half for the Wizards.
If Jackson had made one move toward the ball, Jamison would have been on the line. And he just came right into the defender there.
Jackson right by Antoine, and Brendan Haywood was there to defend the rim. Push ahead to Bloch. He will dunk it down.
That kid and that young man is going to be pretty good. He's long also. He handled the ball in the open court like that.
6'11".
He looked like Amari Stoudemire last night when he was coming down the lane 1-on-2 and dunked.
Bloch's first field goal. So back-to-back buckets by Washington. Jackson 3. And no Warriors there to rebound. Warriors can't get 2-3 happy. You can go inside against the Wizards.
One of the keys. I thought they should have been driving the lane.
Jameson's really worked on that three-point shot, but missing there.
He made his first one tonight. He's missed every one since.
Monte Ellis will stop and pop, and that's been automatic as of late. I said one thing, when the Wizards and Warriors get together, it's points of plenty, and the tempo will quicken.
But sooner or later, they got to stop trading baskets here.
Weber had the overplay and the steal, but also called for the foul.
There's the pressure by Matt Barnes earlier, several plays ago, out to Barron. He stops and pops. He did that also because the Warriors had a little flow there. It wasn't like a 1-on-4 where they would not have a chance for an offensive rebound. And of course, when those miss from three-point range, they usually yield long rebounds, and you've got a lot of people flowing and difficult to block out.
Roger Mason, point blank to Haywood, and he is fouled. The Warriors have not defended the screen and roll at all, because as Haywood has rolled, he's had a dunk or layup or been fouled every single time. 6 of 7 field, 6 of 6 from the foul line, 18 for Brendan Haywood. The Kia Motors All Access VIP Experience Sweepstakes. See the Warriors take on the Lakers. 2 lower level tickets, courtside passes to watch the pregame, an opportunity to meet the Warrior broadcasters. That might keep the auction price down. Go to Warriors.com for all the information. And check out the Kia Motors VIP Sweepstakes.
I didn't know that was in your contract.
No, it's they get to meet you and Tim.
Okay.
Yeah, got a bit extra if you want to meet me.
Go to KNBR between 12 and 3.
Hang out anytime.
They'll find you there.
Baron Davis, a little show and go, and I love the hesitation and then the burst.
And then the quick release. Got it up to the glass before the big man could arrive.
And from down 23, the Warriors within 12. And Baron has come to life with 7 here in the third after a 6-point first half. Mason, does he have a post-up game? No. A fadeaway flat shot. Jackson on Bloch, the crossover, the contact, and to the line. Steven Jackson had the youngster at his mercy.
Well, Jackson earned himself a trip there, but the play was over, but you can see that Chris Mullin is getting in shape.
Chris Webber.
Or excuse me, Chris Webber. We had Mullin on our roundtable live.
Chris Mullin's always in shape.
Right down the middle. Now, doesn't mean much because the play was over, but Webber went up, grabbed that, and dunked it. He had some elevation, so he's getting a little better shape.
And his timing was good, and you see the good hands there. Little glimpses. So Bloch has just been the one starter for the Wizards that has struggled. And Jackson making it a 10-point ball game. The Warriors 13-6 burst out of halftime.
They'd love to get the crowd into it, and the crowd is wanting to get into it.
Stevenson with the shot clock at 5. Goes away from the screen at 2. Stevenson putting it up and in as the shot clock expires.
Well, Barron was forcing that way, did his job. He was expecting some relief inside, and it just didn't come.
Both teams shooting better than 50%. Washington with that 72-point first half and a 17-point lead at the break. Weber just rimming out the mid-range jumper. Mason inside with a nifty move. Roger Mason Jr.
Is he getting good?
The 31st pick by Chicago in 2002. Played only 17 games his rookie year, 26 and then 61 last year. Have been with Toronto and Washington. Has a career scoring average of 3 and has 23 tonight. Matt Barnes missing for the baseline.
Well, what was impressive about that last move, he's not really a driver, Mason, but he finished with the offhand, and he looked really, really comfortable taking the ball inside.
Jackson with the overplay and the steal. And then Jackson is fouled. So Mason will pick up the personal. Weber's Biedrins in. Chris Webber logged some good minutes there in terms of the Warriors plus minus on the floor. Down 17 at the half and came out with a little 13-6 run. Aaron Davis, Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes, Biedrins, and Monte Ellis. The Warriors have been down 23. They have it to 14 midway through the third. Monte wing jumper right there. Both teams shooting 53% from the field. The difference, the Warriors have yielded 19 points off turnovers. Their mistakes have been hammered home by the Wizards.
17 of those in the first half, Bob, but in the second half, though,
Jamison couldn't follow it in. Jackson on blocks. Remember, he has 4 fouls, make it 5. Just rims out, but Andre Bloch has picked up his 5th foul. Steven Jackson with the mindset to get to the foul line, and has paid dividends. The timeout on the floor with 5:27 remaining in the third. Could this be the second biggest comeback of the year for the Warriors? It has begun in earnest. Well, the Warriors have been down 23, down 12 now with 5:27 remaining in the third. And Matt Steinmetz is alongside Agent Zero, Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah, we got old friend Gilbert with us. Gilbert, what's going on?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm all right. How's the knee? I know you're rehabbing it. When are you targeting your comeback?
I'm doing good. After All-Star break is going to be day-to-day, but I'm going to return March 2nd.
Who do you play March 2nd?
New Orleans.
Now, I know you like to circle stuff on your calendar. Does Chris Paul have a circle beside his name?
No, I just want to come back there and give myself some time to work myself back into the system.
Now, let me ask you about the Warriors. We were talking about them a little bit. I saw on your blog the other day that you said Baron Davis really got hosed. He should have been an all-star. Is that the way you feel?
Yeah, I mean, he did a great job, finishing season last year. He's been healthy this year. They're 10 games over 500. That's an all-star.
I got to ask you about, now you were a second-round pick. The Warriors have a second-round pick, Monte Ellis. What do you think of him?
Hopefully they don't make the same mistake they made on me. Hopefully they can keep him. He's playing great basketball now. He's learning from BD. And, he's going to be a great ball player in this league.
Well, they changed that rule after you left.
I heard. They have a lot of free agents this year. Hopefully they can keep them all to keep this team going.
Now, you're a free agent at the end of the season. What's your plan?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna wait my options. See what everybody else does. See what Antoine does. If Antoine comes back, I'm definitely back.
Everybody's talking about Boston and Detroit in the East. When you come back, where do the Wizards fit in?
We're playing great basketball without me. I'm an addition. When we come back, I'm a third option until I get my swagger back.
All right, Gilbert. Yeah, here's a good third option for you. Thanks, buddy. Have a good one, guys.
All right, Matt. I hear from a reliable source from Washington that Gilbert has already said he is going to opt out of his contract and be a free agent.
Right. And that reliable source would probably be Gilbert Arenas. Because he's already said publicly he's going to opt out so he can get paid more money.
Holding back on that. He's always glib, though, isn't he, Gilbert?
I like the revisionist history.
You know, didn't play in the first 40-some games that year with the Warriors as a rookie. Then when he did start, he averaged 15 a game.
Now, the Warriors, had they not had the Gilbert Arenas rule at the time, would have certainly matched Washington's offer. That rule has been changed, so second-rounders are restricted free agents.
It's interesting how things work out.
And Matt Barnes putting it up and in.
Because if Gilbert Arenas were still hurt, we probably wouldn't be talking about Baron Davis.
So a 10-point game after being down 23. Deshaun Stevenson, Jamison, Roger Mason, Darius Songaila, and Nick Young. And Mason missing there, and Barnes having the rebound snatched away. Roger Mason having a career night. He has 25, his career best, and make it 27. All this energy the Warriors have exerted in the comeback attempt. Still Warrior ball with 14 to shoot.
Well, the impressive thing about Washington, every time the Warriors make a little run into it, get back to 10, they just can't make a huge dent, and Washington holds them off. Their offense has just been incredible.
Oh, what a pass to Biedrins, and just couldn't get it over the iron. Songaila with the rebound and defense. Monte and Biedrins combine the steal. Almost on the baseline. It's just been that kind of night, even after terrific plays. The Warriors unable to capitalize, but when they make a mistake, Washington's got 19 points off Warrior turnovers. Songaila from deep. Biedrins the rebound. Wizards have cooled off a little bit, shooting 51%. Barron trying to find it. Jamison the rebound. Both teams at 51% from the field. The difference are the points off turnovers. Flipping inside to Antoine. You see the quickness and the movement without the ball. Jamison with 21 and 9.
He can just pick his spots. You forget about him, all of a sudden he has got great sense of timing and reads the defense well without the ball. He's one of the best in the league moving without the ball.
Monte took the contact there. The Wizards are over the limit, so it'll be Ellis free throws. 2:58 remaining in the third quarter. The Warriors were down 23. They're trying to mount a comeback, but the Wizards have repelled them every time. Well, the Warriors will need the firepower as they're down 14 on Marines.com. Leaders of the game, the most quarters scoring 30 or more. And the Warriors and Suns you would expect, but how about the Lakers with 75 30-point quarters?
Well, they're having a great year. They've really surpassed expectations of all the supposedly, media around the league. And Andrew Bynum's was having a great year. When he gets back, they're going to be so tough. And that Pau Gasol trade really puts them in the upper echelon. I think it puts them right up there with San Antonio fighting for a Western Conference Finals berth. If San Antonio can even get there.
Yeah, the Spurs with the Tony Parker injury have struggled. Lost over the weekend to Boston.
I think Stoudemire was a good pickup for them. By the way, you know what Boston is against the West this year? The Celtics against the Western Conference? 16-0.
The Warriors will see the Celtics here. And that's the Wednesday after the All-Star break.
By the way, that's the best record in history to start from the East to the West. An Eastern Conference team, 16-0.
Considering the disparity between the East and the West, it makes it even more impressive.
That's what I mean.
That's because they got two Western players in Garnett and Ray Allen.
That's it. You're right.
Songaila missing there, and Barnes tipped it just enough so Barron could grab it. Baron Davis going to the rim around Stevenson, laying it up and in. Barron's had a nice third quarter. 9 of his 15 here.
Well, you look at his shooting percentage tonight. He's being very discriminating.
5 of 8. Nick Young just dribbled out of bounds. So a chance to cut it to single digits right now. Washington has the 11 turnovers. Warriors have only 8 points off those. The Warriors 12 turnovers. Washington 19 points.
They haven't been able to cut to single digits, have they, Bob? Since they allowed double figures.
That's exactly correct. Jackson, the hook pass and ricochet and went off Harrington's shoulder.
Oh, they reached for the ball in the backcourt. That's a no-no.
Out to Stevenson, missing the 3. Barnes the rebound. A chance to run it up. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Barron down the lane. Monte is fouled. So Ellis back to the line again.
And see if he can start converting here from the line with a little more regularity.
Monte 2 of 5.
There's a little life in Barron's movements there. He tried to penetrate a little beyond the free throw line to just draw the defenders to give Monte a little angle. And Monte almost had that angle. And if they hadn't fouled, I think he would have converted the layup.
Monte Ellis is 78% free thrower. That's what made the 2 of 5 tonight so unusual. And now it's single digits. Monte knocking them both down, and from down 23, the Warriors within 8.
Be a nice little run here if they could close the quarter and get it down to 6, 4, somewhere in there. It'd be a whole new ball game.
Warriors have a foul to give. Young and Sangaila, a little 2-man game. Nick Young likes to shoot, and dropping in the jumper right there.
Good-looking rookie, 16th overall pick.
As we said, every time the Warriors make a move, Washington has an answer. Barron to Harrington. Didn't catch it cleanly. Missed the 3. Barnes inside. Ricochet to Jackson. He lays it in. Back down to 8. Jackson's got 23 to lead the Warriors.
And he stopped the fast break because he threw it out of bounds when he got it, so he got a little rest coming back.
Young at 18 against the Warriors the first time they met. Missing there. Harrington ricocheted off the backboard. Jamison following it in. The inability to rebound the ball has cost the Warriors here. Jackson right to the rim. And a lefty jam. Stephen Jack brings them out of their seats at Oracle.
I said before, he's jumping off his right leg. He jumped off his right leg. It is his left ankle that's hurt. But to be able to finish like that with authority, with your offhand, impressive.
They're standing, exhorting the defense at Oracle. Shot clock down to 7. Young to work on Monte. Pull-up jumper, no. Big rebound. Jackson tipped it. Still loose. Barnes had the steal, but the foul.
But they had one to give. Fortunately, will not be shooting. Jackson has a hard time going up and rebounding off both feet and landing. That's why he just knocked that ball back. He could not control it. But how about the move at the offensive end? Going around, goes off the strong right foot and dunks with the left.
Playing with that badly sprained left ankle. Wizards will play for 1 with a shot clock off. Barron staying with Stevenson. Down to 3.
Don't want to reach.
Down to 2. Kick it out to McGuire, and he throws in a 3. It has been that kind of night for the Wizards as the rookie, Dominic McGuire, makes his first career 3. And some way, somehow, the Wizards are holding off the Warriors, and better to be lucky than good. Beginning the fourth quarter. Warriors looking for their biggest comeback win of the season. They came from 18 down to beat Miami, but down 23 in this ball game. A killer three just before the buzzer by Dominic McGuire. And Barron opens the fourth, putting it up and in, and Baron Davis is at a terrific second half. 17 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds on 6 of 9 shooting.
11 points in the second half of those 17. Looked like he had his legs back there. Had a lot of lift.
Stevenson driving, hanging, unable to finish. Harrington walled off Songaila. Warriors look to run.
Yeah, Barnes is open.
Right down the lane.
Barron just read that beautifully. Monte was on the right wing. And let him just get deep into the baseline, and Barnes trailed the play. He was the fourth man down.
Stevenson flipping it up and in. Sean Stevenson with 18. Warriors from down 23. They cut it briefly to 7. And they're back there again as Baron Davis has that playoff look to him. Crowd thundering in the third, aching to stay involved in the fourth, exhorting the Warrior defense. Nick Young will rise and miss the jumper. Ball kept alive by McGuire. Harrington tracking it down, throws it off Songaila. It's Warrior ball.
He gave himself up. I don't know what he knocked over in the corner there, but somebody may have lost a little food and drink.
Great play by Al Harrington, because the two biggest advantages for Washington, +7 second chance points, +11 in points off turnovers.
And one of the fans lost her shoe. I don't think she minded. That's interactive basketball.
Setting the screen, Barron driving, ridden the whole way. He is fouled.
How about this fast break? Harrington gets out, and the outlet pass comes. Barron took a look right there. Stop. You got Matt Barnes wide open, trailing the play. The gap. They had a 3-on-2, classic, or 3-on-3 actually, and then Barnes just went to the open spot. The timing was perfect, and Barron waited.
Well, Eddie Jordan is putting Brendan Haywood back in the ball game along with Bloch, getting the size back in.
Yep.
Monte Ellis wing jumper, good.
They call his number, and the young man responds.
Within 5 after trailing by 23, and a long way to go as they rise to help the defense.
Nobody in foul trouble here. You can pressure a little bit.
Jamison push shot. Bloch went over Barnes' back, got the rebound and put it in.
He's long.
At 6'11", a great play by Andre Bloch.
And Barnes is a good leaper.
Matt Barnes shoveling to Harrington.
He rocked the clock.
It's always fun when the Warriors and Wizards get going back and forth. From down 23, the Warriors looking for the biggest comeback of the year. Mason a career night with 27. Jamison had it knocked away. Bloch comes up with it. Shot clock down to 4. Knocked out of bounds. Still Washington ball with 4 to shoot. Half the crowd standing, half sitting. They're kind of rising and sitting and rising. Skip pass to the good shooter Mason, missing. And Jackson does get the foul. Oh!
What happened?
They're going to call it on Steven Jackson.
He just tried to block out.
All the players have gone to the other end of the floor.
Watch the left side. His arm got tangled up. His right arm got tangled up. That's going to be a blocking foul.
Don Nelson slams the scorer's table. This began with a sequence where Bloch went over the back of Barnes, and then Jamison was behind Jackson. So Roger Mason with 27, his first free throws of the night. That's the most angry I've seen Don Nelson this season. He turned and slammed the scorer's table.
His reaction was more for the play before, with Jackson.
The 2 plays before. They didn't like the Barnes play either. And Mason splitting the free throws. So from down 23, the Warriors have a 9-minute ball game, trailing by 6. They've expended a lot of energy in this comeback. Aaron on Jamison. Bloch was lurking. 3 defenders. Harrington 3. Barnes tipping to an open man. Barron wants the screen. Bloch has 5 fouls, remember. Kicking to the corner. Monte steps in. A little out of his range with that 3-point shot.
He's been working on it, and particularly from the corner.
Nick Young. He will draw the body bump.
They're going to get continuation.
He will get the bucket. So Harrington commits the foul. And the Warriors' momentum repelled briefly. 8:15 remaining. And the Wizards have an answer to the Warriors' furious comeback. Washington, after the Warriors had cut to 5, have pushed it back up to 8 with 8:15 remaining. And our Toyota Tundra keys to the ball game. Well, Roger Mason's been the difference.
Pressure the point, but the Warriors gave up so many turnovers in that first half. And right now, the Wizards are plus 11 in points off turnovers. Mason has had a career night. The offensive rebounds, second chance points. The Wizards are also plus 10 there. They are also plus 6 in the free throws, and yet the Warriors are right in the game, so they're doing something right in the second half.
Nick Young, who drew the foul on Harrington, an opportunity to complete the 3-point play, and he does. 3 Warrior team fouls. Washington only 1.
We talked about that 3rd point, by the way, or the 2nd point with transition. The Warriors 23 fast break points. They average a little over 21 to the Wizards 9. So there's the difference there.
Jackson inside, having it knocked away. It's Wizards ball.
No.
Don Nelson is going to lose it. The last 4 or 5 whistles have him incredibly incensed.
Jackson thought he had a trip to the line, and then to add insult to injury, they don't give him the possession.
Young missing. Harrington, good rebound. Warriors had it 99-94. Barron will be called for an offensive foul. It goes from bad to worse.
Well, let's see this one. Starting to go. Well, he lowered the shoulder, but defender was moving all the way. Nick Young did not establish position. He was moving.
Get down 23 for their comeback to happen. You need things to be perfect. But as Mason steps out of the line, I'll tell you, the Wizards are getting the most amazing road whistle in the history of the league.
He stepped on the line. They probably should give him a hoop for that. I hate to be a homer, but the Warriors have had some raw calls over the last 4 calls. Amazing.
Long way to go. Monte wing jumper. Rimming it out, and Haywood the easy rebound. What those whistles have done is taken the crowd out of it, given Washington new life. They've scored the last 4.
Haywood sets a vicious screen out there.
Nick Young, nifty move behind his back right to the rim. And the rookie of SC with a terrific move. That's a 6th straight by the Wizards.
Washington's done a good job getting back after scores. A lot of times the Warriors take advantage that way, but they haven't been able to tonight.
Jackson from deep, and he drops in the 3 at just the right time.
I'm going to say this about Stephen Jackson. We talked about Baron Davis. Jackson had all-star numbers as well, Bob. You look across the board, he had all-star numbers.
Jackson's got 28. Nick Young continues to feel it.
He's one of those scorers. He gets it going. Tough to stop, but he's feeling it.
So the Wizards after the Warriors had come from 23 to nip it to 5 and pushed it back up to 10. Harrington from deep. That's a deep 2. Now Harrington with 19 off the bench. The Warriors have to be perfect here. An 8-point game, half a quarter. Digging uphill all game long. Knocked out of bounds, Washington ball. Timeout comes at a good time. 5:58 remaining. An 8-point ball game. And do the Warriors have enough gas in the tank to complete the comeback? Washington behind a career high from Roger Mason with 28, leading the Warriors by 8 midway through the fourth. And we head to Matt Steinmetz. Wizards pretty good against the Western Conference.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. You know, the Wizards have lost 7 in a row, Bob, yet they're still in the 6th position in the Eastern Conference. They're 2 games under 500. Gilbert Arenas actually talked to me about it before the game, about the Eastern Conference, how it's so easy compared with the Western Conference. You look at the Warriors, they're 10 games over, Bob. They're barely holding on to the 8th spot. And I want to ask Jim, what happens if the Warriors lose 7 in a row? Are they still hanging in there?
Not
chance.
in the West.
Not in the West. Atlanta has the 8th and final spot at 21 and 26 right now.
Well, you hope this game does not come down to a single point, because Al Harrington's shot was a 3. It was ruled a 2. And Benny Adams called something he could not have seen.
Well, he stepped over, but then he stepped back. And it should have counted a 3.
And so Don Nelson continues to be angry. He's had some interesting ones in the fourth quarter. Down 8, 5:58 remaining. Jamison and Blotch with Brendan Haywood. Haywood, that baby hook. Ball out to an open spot, and Monte on the move.
Gonna go down the middle here.
Right, and Haywood kick it out to Jackson. 3 on the way. Rimming out, Barnes with a rebound. Monte to Harrington, and he is fouled.
There's a time to dunk and a time to get an easy 2 off the backboard. You'd love to have Harrington just finish that. No criticism, but in this game, you got to get greedy and got to make up for everything. This would be easy right off the glass. Beautiful play by Monte. But you go off the glass real quickly and release below the rim, and then the ball's already up there. Then you get fouled, and you got a 3-point play.
Harrington's first free throws and knocking that one down. Warriors had it down to 5 at 99-94. Chance to cut it to 6 here. They're down 23 in this ball game, down 17 at the half. And they trail by 11 heading into the fourth. But it's this end, the defensive end, that they'll have to slow down the Wizards.
I'll tell you what, they haven't given up, to their credit. First and second half are very different.
Nick Young with the collision and the foul on Harrington.
Interesting, because they're calling a lot of blocks down there, and that one Baron Davis charge, to me, was much more apparent than any of these.
The games people play are not the ones you see on the air. FSN Bay Area Uncovered is the first web exclusive program. Go underground and under the radar on sports like freeboarding. Nick Young has paid dividends with 10 points off the bench, and he scored the last 8 for the Wizards. And 9 in the fourth quarter for Nick Young. They get it to 6, and they can't stop Washington. Barron from deep. Long rebound right to Harrington. Tried to put it up with the left hand. And Haywood with the rebound. Nick Young. Shuffled the feet there, missed the shot. The rebound out to Blotch. And Haywood is the one who kept it alive. Eddie Jordan's going to take a timeout. With the ball, 4:51 left, and an 8-point lead. Everything's got to be perfect when you're trying to come from 23 down, and the Wizards trying to hold off the Warriors. But tonight, the Warriors down 15 at the end of one, down 17 at halftime, got down 23 in this game. They've cut it to 5 on a couple of occasions. But the Wizards casting a spell tonight and getting great productivity from 4 of the starters. And a career night from Roger Mason with a new career highs. He's got 28.
Well, the backcourt, starting backcourt, Stevenson and Mason have combined for 46. But Ellis and Davis are catching up. They've combined for 37, and they're outscoring them big in the second half.
Mason offline on a 3. Harrington will let it go out of bounds. So they do get a stop there.
Stevenson only has 4 since halftime, and Mason only has 7. Whereas Monte's added 10 and Barron's added 13 since halftime. So, but all those numbers go out. You need to score here and you get some stops. This is getting down to crunch time.
Harrington will back down Jamison. Kick it out to Barron. A good look for 3. And the long rebound to Harrington. Barron thought about reloading. Got Andre Bloch, who's playing with 5 fouls. Barron rolls right around him. Biedrins tips it in. So within 6. 2-possession ball game.
That's the way to read a mismatch. No fouls to give. Next one will do shots.
Nick Young slithering inside, rimming that out, tipped out to Young while he's on the floor. Jamison leans in and puts it in. Second chance points for Washington. Monte at 100 miles an hour to lay it up and in.
He can come back at you like nobody's business. But again, you can't trade baskets here. Andres stood his ground there, and he got shook by Jamison.
Stevenson, little 2-man with Antoine catching. Biedrins changed the shot. Bloch is right there to lay it in. Second chance points. Washington outscoring the Warriors by 10. They're getting right to the rim every time.
And again, Jackson wrong-footed the shot, which is good. He does that anyway, but he really knows how to play when he's injured and hurt. Amazing. See the timeouts, but you can see the Warriors at 4 fouls. Next to be over the limit.
Stevenson crossing over, taking it inside. A wild flip shot, and Biedrins with the rebound.
All of a sudden, they're starting to take bad shots.
Finally a chance to cut it to 4. Monte down the lane, put it up and in. And how about 3 with an opportunity for a 3-point play? From down 23 to within 4 with a free throw coming.
Didn't want to take the outside shot. Comes in. Gets a little block by Nick Young, but not enough to deter him and get him off balance, and he banks it in.
Ellis missing the free throw.
He's just not shooting free throws well tonight.
Monte 4 of 8 from the line, and it stays at 4. He's got 22.
Barron just shadowing Mason.
Closest the Warriors have been in the second half is right now. 2:10 of crunch time. Stevenson, an incredibly deep 3. Try to follow his shot. Barron with the rebound. Out to Jackson. He'll try to dunk it and be fouled. Warriors could have used the bucket. They would have got the dunk and the foul. And Stephen Jack to shoot 2. And motioning, as I should have just flipped it in, as you were trying to say.
Again, uncharacteristic shots. They were getting great shots in the first 3 quarters, but then I think they're just panicking a little. Washington is. They're not working the ball to get good shots, and you see the result at the end. And Stephen would love to have that back. Nonetheless, he can cut it to 2.
Well, the playoff priority list being formed right now. Your way to guarantee tickets to the playoffs. Put deposits down for season tickets for next year. Operators ready to help you right now.
Well, this is playoff atmosphere right here at Oracle in this game.
Jackson is perfect from the line. Stevens got 32, 9 of 9 free throwing. Ties Jackson's season high. Standing room only at Oracle as they rise. And Nick Young missing. Barron the rebound. A chance to tie.
Or take the lead.
Jackson thought about it.
Oh, he had it too.
Steps back and barely ticked iron. The reload on that three, mistake for the hottest Warrior.
I'm surprised he didn't launch.
Washington had been up 23, up 17 at halftime. Jamison, the money man. The little flip shot rattles out. Big rebound. Jackson has it. Flipping ahead to Barron. Another chance to tie. Or take the lead. Biedrins with the ball loose. And Nick Young comes away with it. And Young will take a timeout. 1:06 remaining. 2 chances to tie. Barron tried to take the lead with a 3. And Washington has possession. 1:06 remaining. Will it be the biggest comeback of the year for the Warriors? 1:06 remaining as they stand at Oracle. The Warriors from 23 down have the deficit to 2. But the Wizards have the ball. Stevenson had it stolen. Jackson on Jamison, and he's fouled. Baron Davis, Steven Jackson, Monte Ellis combining on the steal. And free throws coming with a minute remaining.
Trying to go right up the court, and Jackson knocked it away. It went to Barron. Jackson should get the steal there. He tried to reverse. He did not want to get fouled. He tried to just go underneath it, got hit on the head, but he can tie it with 2 free throws. And you saw the graphic a moment ago, scoring by quarters. Warriors holding him each quarter, 37, 35, 23, 18.
Washington has shot 39% in the second half after shooting a blistering 55% in the first.
That says it all. Can they push and put the finishing touches on?
No, the free throw missed. Biedrins the rebound. Within 1, a 3 is good! Steven Jackson, a season high 36. It ends up being a 4-point play. The 1 free throw, missing the second. Biedrins and Harrington kept it alive, and Captain Jack drills the biggest shot of the night. A 10-0 Warrior run. From 23 down, they take the 2-point lead as Jackson refusing to let the Warriors slip away.
They couldn't get any good luck going early on. They've made their luck here in the closing minutes of the 4th quarter. They've created their own luck. Forced some Washington misses. Came down and converted and just kept staying with every play here. But it's not over.
Well, the Warriors have won 6 of the last 11 against Washington, but the last 5, they do not disappoint. 236 points a game. And tonight, we're looking at 228, and we're not. 55.6 left. From 23 down to up 2. The Warriors' last lead was 3-2. Spending all night digging themselves out of a hole.
New season high by Jackson, but all they're thinking about, as Barron told me before the game, he's just thinking about wins.
Stevenson and Roger Mason blocks Nick Young and Jamison. Nick Young, who's had the hot hand in the 4th, working on Monte. Spinning, stepping, firing, missing. Barron the rebound.
Will they trade 2 for 1 here? I think they'll get a shot here in the next 6-8 seconds. I think they should.
Jackson, another triple. Rimming out. Monte off of Stevenson, it's Warrior ball.
And the Wizards are going to have to foul. The hustle, never giving up, taking a risk here. And Stevenson never saw Monte Ellis come from the baseline.
So Warrior ball, a full 24, 1.9 between the shot clock and game clock.
They've got a foul.
And Jackson is fouled. He's 10 of 11 free throwing and can make it a 2-possession ball game. They've been standing for the last 3 minutes at Oracle.
Wizards did have a 20-second timeout, Bob, but they only had 1.9 seconds to work, and it's just not enough. The Warriors could have dribbled out the clock.
With better than 19,000 in the building. And Jackson dropping in the free throw. This is now the Warriors' biggest lead of the night.
There you go.
Steven Jackson, season high 37, his career high is 42. And he knocks it down. 38 from Jack. 4-point Warrior lead. A 12-0 run, and the Wizards take time. It'll be a 20-second timeout.
All on a bad ankle. How many shots has Jackson made going to the rim tonight going off his right foot?
Well, the missed 3, that was the free one. And Monte Ellis with a play of the night. Knocked it away.
There's no substitute for quickness in this league. You either have it or you don't.
Well, the Warriors have been involved in a ton of close games. They also lead the NBA with 11 wins when trailing by double digits. And this would be the sweetest number 12 if they could hold on. And what are the Wizards thinking here, Jim, with 22.6? Quick 2?
Absolutely. Quick 2, because they're 2 possessions down. They need to just take this ball, drive it to the basket. The Warriors haven't had a foul in a long time.
But Washington is out of timeouts.
I know. They've got to just score and then foul again.
They don't want Mason to shoot a 3. They make him into a driver, leaning, flipping it in. So a 2-point game. Jackson will be fouled. So the man who's had the hot hand all night long, Steven Jackson, will walk the 94 feet and shoot 2 more free throws. On an ankle where Jackson, when he went down against Sacramento, I thought he was done for a week at least.
So did I.
I mean, rolling over Mike Bibby's foot, and stayed in to play 42 minutes in that game. He's played 41 minutes tonight. And that is career best against the Wizards. And he now ties his career high with 13 free throw makes. And Saturday night, right there, he went down.
And he stayed down for a while.
And grabbed the ankle, immediate pain. And he knocks them both down.
New career high in makes and attempts.
Now the Wizards are out of timeouts. You want to pick up in the backcourt and make them use time.
They're going to do that.
And so no Mason dribble into the front court, turn the corner, put it up and in. Jackson wants to use time, and they converge to foul him again.
He's loving this. He's just going to go up and knock down another 2.
Steven Jackson with 40. And an opportunity for 2 more. You come to Oracle or you flip on a Warrior game, you better be ready, because you're going to see just about everything almost every night. And Jackson is human. He misses a free throw, so it will be a 1-possession game, whether it's a make or miss. But remember, Washington is out of timeouts.
Yeah, but they've got 3-point shooters.
But with the Warriors foul, if he makes this and they're up 3, would they foul somebody?
They have to wait and get it under 4 seconds, somewhere in there. This is a game that you have to coach, and Don Nelson is the best in the business here.
Jackson makes it a 3-point game. Will they foul? You want to watch Mason. He's the deadly 3-point shooter at 5. At 3, now Stevenson at 2. A step back 3 is off, and the Warriors win it.
They declined to foul because they felt pressure in the backcourt would solve that problem. How about stealing a game after being down by 23?
The biggest comeback of the year for the Warriors. They came from 18 down to beat Miami. They come from 23 down as Jackson has a Warriors season high. Barron was all over Mason. Barnes stayed outside the arc, but look at Barron get back on Stevenson to make it a tough shot. And Baron Davis played the D in the last 8 seconds.
They made him use clock coming up the court. And I think that was and Don Nelson was telling them that at the free throw line. I think it was excellent strategy.
Baron Davis with 13 in the second half. Steven Jackson, our Fry's Electronics HD defining moment. Harrington and Biedrins out to Jack from 23 down and the lead. And that 3 from Captain Jack, and he's alongside Matt Steinmetz to talk about a 41-point effort, a Warriors season high.
Steven, 23 points down tonight. You had 41. Give us a sense of what the team's thinking in the locker room when you're struggling, you're trying to get back in this.
Well, we said at halftime that, you know, they're a great shooting team. They had a great game against Phoenix, but we knew if we can come back from down 20, it's going to be at home. So we just wanted to continue to play better defense this second half, and our shots went down. If we knocking down shots and playing D, we got a good chance of winning the game.
Now, obviously, you got hurt last game. Was there any chance that you might not have played tonight, or how does the ankle feel?
It was a little sore before the game, but, you know, if I can go out there and run, I'll give my team my all. Last thing I want to do is miss a game, and if God blesses me to be able to run, I'm going to play.
Now, Baron Davis has been struggling with his shooting. I think it's important to say his shooting, not necessarily his playing. He got it going in the third quarter. Does this team ever lose confidence in him?
Not at all, because we know Barron's our guy, man. Barron, you know, even I went through it. You go through ups and downs in the season, but the best thing about Barron, he's going to continue to lead this team and continue to play, and that's what we need him to do.
Is there any kind of psychological issue when you know a team's missing 3 players?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it makes the team more dangerous. I always say when we play against a team and their key guys out, that gives every guy that doesn't play the chance to have freedom and to get a chance to show what they can do. And you see, that's what happened when we played the Bulls, but tonight we took care of business.
Last thing, talk about the missed free throw, and then I think it was Andres who got it back to you. Was there any doubt you were going to fire that?
Well, I mean, once he gave it back to me, I was wide open. You know, coach gets mad at us for not taking open shots. I shoot all my shots with confidence, and I'm glad that one fell.
All right, Steven, thanks a lot. Fellas, this guy shoots a lot better from 3 in the fourth quarter. Look at the stats.
Well, Jackson scored 13 of the Warriors' last 15 points.
26 of his 41 in the second half, and it was just so clutch. And how about going to the free throw line, knocking down 15 of 17. The Warriors defense, after allowing 59% in the first quarter, 55% in the first half overall, well, they hold them to 39% shooting in the second half. The defense finally came through, ending the game on a 15-4 run.
And you have to feel a little empathy for the Wizards. They have now an 8-game losing streak. They played terrific basketball, but in the West, you need every single win. And the Warriors, Denver, Houston, Portland, 2 of those teams are not going to be playoff teams. And so defending the home court. One more game to the All-Star break. That'll be Phoenix on Wednesday. That's a 6 o'clock start. Remember, that's a national telecast. We'll be with you next Tuesday at Utah at 6 o'clock. For Matt Steinmetz and Jim Barnett, Bob Fitzgerald saying so long from Oracle Arena. The biggest comeback of the season from 23 down, and Jack leads the way with 41.